we are today examining a Acer Macrophyllum, a big leaf maple. It's a well-established tree, a backyard landscape tree. It has had some pruning and some mispruning over the years. So our observations really revolve around making corrective surgery cuts to correct the damage of the past. Our central leader has died because of heading down cuts that were incorrectly made some years ago. The resprout, even though it looked promising for a while, was not able to sustain. And those resprouts from the stumping cuts have died back as well. We're going to dismantle from the top down. We're going to carefully take it apart. We've got a climber up there. He's been safetied in nicely with climbing rope and lanyard and saddle. Normally the deciduous trees are pruned while they're dormant, but in this case we're pruning while the tree is leafed out in order to differentiate between the living and the dead tissue. And as we look up in the tree here, we'll see where that dieback has occurred. The tree's lifespan is certainly compromised because of these aggressive cuts. These are incorrect cuts that have caused this particular leader to go into decline, and even the corrections to these cuts, when we cut out all this dead material, we're going to have some pretty large wounds on the tree. We have to bring that dieback all the way down inside the crown of the tree, so we're going to end up with a corrective cut that is perhaps close to 10 inches or a foot in diameter, a really large cut for the Acer. But we're going to treat the end grain with our orange oil beeswax. Hopefully we can slow down decay long enough to give the tree a response time to wall off this very large final excision that will have to be made. We're going to start from the tip down. We're going to rig and lower everything out of there, and as we excise this material to our finished cut, we'll go ahead and treat our end grains with our plant terpene compound with beeswax in it. We're going to proceed. This dead wood is not going to resprout. We're going to take it out of the tree before it wind throws or self-prunes out of there. We're going to make our corrective cuts, but the long-term prognosis of the tree is hopefully we'll be able to give the tree a new lease on life and extend its possibilities, but probably the longevity of the tree will be permanently restricted due to the large wounds that we're going to have to make in terms of making corrective adjustments to the tree. This is one of the 3 pollarded tips that we have just dismantled out of there, and dry as a bone and hard. That was a triple lead coming out of the center of the tree, the top of the tree, and you can see this gnarly, disfigured form that was the resprout at the top of the crown. Here's a cut here that started to heal but couldn't quite close up. There's a cut here that has closed. We have the resprout that sustained for a while but wasn't able to maintain. If we look at the end grain of this wood, we can see that it's soft and pithy. The whole center here has rotted, and this goes way down inside that central leader of the tree. The tree tolerated a few topping cuts and resprouted and survived, but finally it was too much for it. And these little leaders that have occurred out of this pollarded stumps were not able to sustain and maintain vascular pressure. So the tree has withdrawn energy from that central lead and it has died. See this? Hollow all the way through. You actually can see daylight all the way through this branch, and all because of incorrective pruning. We see that the cut that was made here actually hollowed out into a cavity way in. The cut on this side as well was not able to heal, even though some cambium callus did start to roll in. Even though they roll a good cambium callus, the rate of decay is faster than the rate of deposition of healing tissue. So we've made a dissecting cut here to look inside. You can see how soft and pithy this material is. It's completely decayed and decomposes. It's wet, it's soggy, it's pithy. The last of our living tissue is right here and right here and a little bit right here. And the rest of it is just soft and pithy and punk. We have to leave strong terminus leaders in order to maintain sap pressure and viability to limbs, especially with our sensitive trees. And the maple is sensitive. They don't like to be headed back, they don't like to be tipped, they don't like to have terminuses left in their canopies, and those end up resulting in dieback.